This is your moment, you better own it. This is your moment, with Kaz on the radio. If you ready, then let's go. This never been done before.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Cass. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Listen, man, I'm sorry. I apologize for the technical difficulties on Tuesday, but we here. We here on Friday. Listen, man. Before we jump into this, I want to kind of pay our respects to 9/11. This is, everybody remember this day. This day was a day that we would never forget, and we just need to pay our respects to this day, 9/11. Man, do y'all understand that it's been 19 years? Think about what I'm saying, y'all. 19 years? OMG. It seems like this was last week. That's how bad this affected everybody's life, the 9/11. 19 years, y'all. Jesus. Lord, I'm getting old. Them 19 years passed fast. Oh my God. So listen, y'all. Hey, this tonight I want to really bring on a guest tonight, and we're going to talk about some marriages, relationships, the new millennials, different things. Single, we all been married, single, all of that stuff. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. And I know I need y'all to chime in. Don't forget, I repeat, don't forget to share and like and press that little notification right there. So you know when I'm on, you pop on, give your opinion and say, what's up? Cass, what's up? Everybody know me as Carnell, somebody, family, anybody. Y'all, put them likes and shares up there. You know what I'm saying? Let me know you here. Let's vibe out together. Come on the pod and we just, have some fun. So I'm gonna bring on this guest. Her name is Rakisha. I know her for a while. And I wanted a woman to come on to give her perspective on tonight's content, which is going to be on marriage, which she's been down that road. Single, which she's been down that road. So it may be a little going back and forth because I'm going to represent for the men tonight. All right? I'm representing for the men tonight, and y'all, she going to represent for the women tonight. All right? So I need y'all to kind of be on my side. You know what I'm saying? Hear my side. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. We're going to bring in Rakisha. What's up, Rakisha?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Listen, I really appreciate you for taking out your beautiful time to come on the pod show to, talk about some things that, some maybe marriages or couples don't want to talk about. And we can be that voice to really, throw it out there. So I really do appreciate you coming on the pod.
It's my pleasure. As I say at Chick-fil-A, my pleasure. I'm excited. Really excited about this show. Like, this is an amazing. Your opinion matters. So
thank you. I really, I'm trying to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? With my time, with my, trying to be productive, Instead of you just doing nothing. But, look, okay, let's talk about, one, I want to ask you, have you've been married before, right?
So I've been married twice.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've been married twice and divorced twice.
So you seasoned in this. I've been married one time.
I've learned a lot and I've grown a lot through it. So
So,
I can share tonight.
so okay, so let's start with this. Since tell our viewers what was the growth in your marriage, your first marriage. What was the growth, and what was basically what was the con, what was the pros? Really, that's what I'm trying to say. You know.
Oh gosh. So my first marriage, I married really in my early 20s.
Wow.
The basis of me getting married was I had 2 kids by the age I started a young mother. So my kid's father, and we were living together. We just thought it was the right thing to do was to get married because that's what everybody said. Y'all having babies, y'all living together. Why not just get married? So, and we thought we loved each other, so we did. We got married through that union. We had 2 boys through that union. We got another girl.
Okay.
And then, even between me being pregnant, life just happened and things just fell apart. And, we ended it. I was only married for seems like about probably 2 years, maybe.
2 years? Your first one, right?
My first one, yeah. My first one was 2 years.
Speaking on you being young, this is what I want to. Why is the younger generation willing to commit to the marriage, and why is the older generation have a hard time committing to the marriage? What's up, Chris? Chris in the house, everybody.
Hey, Chris. I would say, to the younger generation, I think that I know some young married couples today, and I have very high hopes for their future that they're going to weigh this thing out. I think it starts with your belief system and what your expectation is in marriage, and definitely the purpose behind getting married. I guess a lot of people at young don't know, just know that they the feeling of marriage, and it feels good to be married, and it seems like the right thing to be married, and it is the right thing to be married. Marriage is a God idea. So I think that, knowing that it feels good, they feel like it's something that they should do, so they just commit to it and do it. I think for the older generation, like for me in my 40s, it's almost like we have to understand that life happens, and so we have a lot of different things that we have to work through. Most of us have children that we have to go through. I mean, not go through, but have children we have to consider. We have our careers we have to consider. We have what we've already established, our financial state, all those things that, people get protective of when it comes to having to marriage and thinking about sharing things of what you built on your own, possibly to share with somebody.
So Chris says that I think it's because society says we have to be married, we have to do this and that. And he said, I'm 36, never married.
So I'm not sure if it depends on what society you're speaking of. I think that sometimes it is society. But I think that most of the time it's because I think that society speaks against marriage. I mean, everything that I see in the world system and what you see is not promoting marriage, right? I think society is promoting that for people to just do what you want to do. So if marriage is something you want to do, it's okay to do it. I think so. Yeah, I don't think that sometimes it's about what society. I don't think society promotes marriage.
Well,
in kingdom, what you discuss and promote marriage. I know churches, they say you should be married, but you should.
Well, with the younger generation, you see a lot of them out here living together, trying to start, something, a future for their lives. You know what I'm saying? I just think I disagree with the getting married at a young age because I guess it depends on the maturity of them, the couple. You know what I'm saying? The man and the woman. At that time, they were a boy and girl. They had, But like my daughter, for instance, she's 23. She has a fiance. She has a baby. She's very mature at her age, and her fiance is mature as too. But I just think that they too young to really, jump into a marriage. Even though they have a child, I just think being committed at a young age is not good. Let me tell you why. One, because a man has to be able to learn himself, learn himself. He has to be able to live by himself. He has to be able to have that quality time, that independency with himself. Because I believe if you jump into a marriage, I think later on you're gonna regret. And this is my opinion. You're gonna, because you never had that time to have that bachelor life. You know what I'm saying? You never had that time to really be a man. What's your thoughts about that?
I so I would say, what is a bachelor's life though? Like, what is it that you really feel like you're missing out on? What do you mean by, I understand what you're saying about getting to know yourself, knowing who you are. I think that you can share your Lord life, that you can grow together. I think that in marriage you have to be committed to grow together, and that's where the growth comes in. You have to be committed to one another. To, even though we know that the age at 23, at 28, she's not going to be the same woman as she was at 23, because there's going to be some life experiences that changes her outlook on what she's done. So for a woman or for a man to be young, get married, it just depends on their commitment and their stick-to-itness, and they're ready to either fight through the hard times till they get to a plateau where everything is, where they find out how they can operate with one another.
So
I don't think that as a bachelor, you keep saying the bachelor's life. I don't know what a bachelor's life is, or what is it that he feels like he's going to miss out on.
Okay, well, we got Krishna. I guess I'm saying right, Miss Lopez. I'm going to do that. Miss Lopez, she says, this sounds interesting. Miss Lopez, I need your opinion. Don't be getting on her side, taking up for the women now,
Oh, that's fine. So she already on my side.
Oh, Lord Jesus. so look, okay, the bachelor part. What I'm saying about the bachelor's part.
Explain me what you think a bachelor's life
is living by yourself. It's the independence. Not have to depend on a woman to have that alone time. Even though it's good to have a woman around, but sometimes a man needs space too. Learning how to be independent, learn how to just have the bachelor, just like being a man.
Okay, so follow-up question with that. Because you say you need to have your alone time. Does your alone time have to be a lifestyle? Or can you have your alone time, say, honey, I need some alone time, and, you can still be married and have your alone time.
Okay, but
right?
No, that's right, but that's wrong. Because when y'all can accept when a man talk about baby, we need some alone time. Because if we tell you if we need some alone time, y'all gonna be thinking, what you need alone time? That's how honestly, that's how women think.
That's not what women think. Some maybe, but that's not what all women think. That's not a fair statement.
So if your boyfriend or husband decided, now listen to this, y'all end up living together, and let's say 6 months, right?
I'm not shocked. I'm above that. So
I'm just saying, we talking about boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Young age, we still on the millennials. Young age. 6 months goes by, y'all live together, right? He turns around and tells you, babe, you know what? I'm getting my own place right now. I just need some alone time. How would you take that?
I wouldn't take that because, like I'm saying, you're married, so you can have alone time. But why does alone time?
We're not talking about married. We're talking about
girlfriend and living together.
Yes, we're talking about the.
I would have
Okay,
You're living your own life.
okay.
You're living a lifestyle. I don't. If you're in a relationship that your alone time has to consider to be a lifestyle.
Well, let's go to the comments. Miss
Okay.
Lopez, she said, "How do you say her first name?"
Call her Chrissy. Call her Chrissy.
Chrissy.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Chrissy said, "I feel that young marriage is good. It's harder to stay together when you've been alone and set in your ways. When you grow together, you fight, you stay together. You won't give up as easy."
Exactly. So you Chris, not Chrissy, but Chris is I need a wife just so I can have good cooking. Just saying. And you know what? So to respond to Chrissy, she's absolutely I agree with that. I agree that getting married young, it does not have to be a bad thing. It has to be a commitment thing. And it has to be that through marriage, we just don't fight. We fight together. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. They don't fight to stay together. It's easy to walk away. It's easy to fight. It's easy to just end it. But it takes some discipline. It takes some hard conversations. It takes a lot of growth. It takes a lot of prayer to stay married, no matter what age you are.
I agree. I definitely agree. It don't matter what age you are, you have to do all them things. But the reality is that when you're young,
Uh-huh.
you have like Christy said, you go through things,
Uh-huh.
but are you willing to go through mistakes that the men will make? One, probably 80 or 90%, the man would cheat. And that's high. And you better not put it no higher than that. 80 or 90%, the man would cheat. Two, when you're young, it's hard to really commit. Because in this day of time, you got so much of outlets like social media. It's just so much out there now for these young people. And I just think that it's just jumping into marriage at the age of 23, 24 years old. I think you should wait at least you like 27. Being together, working towards that is one thing. I can see them working towards that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But marriage is a whole nother level.
And you're right about that. You're right. But what I want to bring out is we saying a young age, but these issues that you're seeing really does not have an age barrier on it.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't.
Well, Christopher, he said marriage is only worth fighting for when both people in the marriage want that fight. The marriage has to be worth the fight. That is so. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
I agree with that. I agree. You can't fight a battle by yourself. So, and for me, for my second one, that was the end of it because you can't fight for something that somebody doesn't want.
Now, are you reading Chrissy's message? What she said?
Okay. She said, with all due respect, it sounds as if you are speaking about an immature men who have a selfish nature, period. A man who wants a woman for the right reasons to build a family, he won't need to retreat for reasons he cannot articulate. Slash bone of my bone. A man that cheats on his wife doesn't love himself. And I wholeheartedly agree. That's the answer.
Look at Chrissy. Look at you. Y'all women ain't gonna try to come up on my show and think, you know what I'm saying? Look at her. She gonna try to think, man, that was good though. Chrissy, that was.
My daddy chimed in and he said it takes God only. And it does. And that's where the foundation starts because if we get back to the root of marriage, God ordained marriage. Marriage is a God idea. So to me, everything, because my faith is so strong in God, that has to be the center of it all. And okay. If God is missing from either party, it's going to be hard to keep a marriage together.
Yeah. So we was talking about the millennials, what would you what advice you would give to these young folks that's trying to start a great life and be married?
No, I'm the for the and I'm for the. I would say because we have to understand first that when we talk about generation, the millennials are in their mid 30s, 20s, and 30s now.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So the Generation Z, which is my children, are in 23, 24. Believe it or not.
Okay, so the 23, 24 is
So
what?
we're talking about the young 20-year-olds that will want to get married.
Okay, that's what I'm. Okay.
I would say to them that they would have to, for me, they would have to establish their relationship with God first and learn who you are in God. And then make sure that your marriage is guided by God, and make sure that you're really ready. Make sure, because some of the things you said, make sure that you know each other. Make sure that you are ready for the hard times. Make sure you know that you are ready for the marriage and just don't want a wedding. Now that's the real thing. Some people look forward, prepare for a wedding, but they never really prepare for to be married. So you have to prepare to be married forever, not just until things get hard, but for the long haul. You have to really make sure you're ready. Life happens, right?
Yep.
Things happen. But like Chris said, two people have to be willing to fight for it. It just can't be one-sided. And just know that, you can do whatever you want to do in your marriage as long as you all agree to do it together. And that is a godly decision that you all are making. And always listen to one another. Always consider your wife. Always consider your husband before you make any decision. Because it's.
Well, Christopher says his advice is make sure you both have understanding the expectation of each other. Understand the exception and agree that this is what you both want. More days people want relations, not relationship. The Oreo without the cookie. My man, that's great advice. That is great advice. And if I could kind of share and throw something on there too, okay, Chris, she says,
Why millennials? That's a label. Look at people as people, not under stereotypes under the generation. That's a worldly perspective. Not everyone wants to go around, which is great. We were saying, you want to address that? Why millennials?
Go ahead.
We were just saying that we are looking at, like I said before, that everybody, like this just doesn't go for a specific generation, because marriage is hard and life is hard for whatever generation. But we were saying that it seems like the younger generation, the younger in their early 20s and 30s, are more eager to get married. I think you came in when we were already discussing, well, he already said that, the life issues, we address the heart. Why it's easier for millennials to say yes to marriage than it is for those of us who, like us, are in our 40s to say.
But Chrissy, when she said why millennials, again, I did say, I said, why is the younger generation willing to commit to marriage, and why the older generation have a hard time to commit to marriage? That was the actually title. So we were just on the millenniums right now. But again, for the oldest ones, why is that why is it so hard for them to commit at that older age? You know what I'm saying? And they supposed to be mature and be saying all the things you saying, to giving all the advice that we giving to the new millennials, but we supposed to be taking this advice for our own marriage. It can't.
Right. But I think when we think about, because of life experiences, like when we think about a lot of us, and I'm just going to go from my experiences in my 40s, early 40s, been married twice, right? Tried marriage twice, lived through some things, and I think you're wiser. I think you just don't go off because you just don't go off, oh, this feels good, but you actually deal with facts. I think that you have your requirements are different. They have a home that they probably have purchased. They have money in the bank. They have
Yep.
things. You just it's a little bit different. You have children you have to consider. Some may have children, families they have to consider. So it's a little bit more in tune and more of, let me see it's really going to work. You have some women who just say they are requirements they have to.
Like Chrissy said, she said these millennials have seen ragged examples. You were so right, Chrissy, because I'm gonna use myself as an example because when I grew up watching my father doing things. You know what I'm saying? I grew up doing so. When I became old enough to have my own family, I got into a marriage at a young age. One, I didn't want to be married. I married her because that's what she wanted, to try to make her happy. Which that was a bad decision on my part because it never, it just didn't work out at the end of the day. And when I got a family, I started doing the same things my father was doing. Same exact thing. And that was again watching the example and growing up making type of mistakes. So Chrissy, great point. Great point. Chris, it's hard for them to commit because they only know their marriage from when they were younger. They remember that and uses that as a crutch for their next relationship.
I'm gonna respond to that because he's absolutely correct.
Okay.
I know that for a fact because what I understood to be, it's easy, and I'm gonna say this: it's easy to point out, okay, he cheated, okay, and I'm talking about from a woman's perspective. Oh, he cheated. Oh, he couldn't keep a job. Oh, he did this. Oh, he didn't contribute to the house. Oh, he ain't helped me with the kids. Oh, all these things that you can outwardly see that a man is not doing or that the partner is not doing in a relationship. But what I had to do was really look at myself and say, okay, I don't care what he did. There was a part in me that he felt that he can do these things.
Wow.
And
wow.
so you have to really look at yourself. And even if you're saying, oh, I was too nice. Oh, I was too naive. Oh, I did too much. And, when you think about those things, you always have there's always a me. You always want to they're going to do what they're going to do. They've done what they've done. But you have to always look back and correct yourself and build and grow yourself to the point where you can use it as a crutch. Because even in the next relationship, even you can't say, I can't make the same thing twice. So there should be things that you see in the next person that you can't hold as a crutch because I've already been through that. I've already learned that. And if you haven't learned anything from marriage, then you're not even ready to even consider to be in a relationship with anybody.
That's a great point. Chrissy, she said, that's why they want to marry. They want to be great. They want to build together. They want to be whole and well. They want to hold out. They want a healthy family dynamic, unlike what they saw. That is so true. That's a beautiful thing. That is so true.
But that is true. However, you have to, just like you said, you probably didn't, and I don't know whether you did or not, but most people don't enter into marriage saying, oh, I'm going to screw her over, I'm going to screw him over, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
That's true.
That's why we have to be careful. Now, and I always tell this, and this is one thing I always say to my kids who are in their 20s, I always say, you have to be careful not to become the thing that you despise the most in us, right? So things that I don't like that my mother does, things that I don't like that my father did, or how he handles situations, or how he talked, or how he treated us, or how she treated us, or, we have to be careful that because we are a product of them that we don't become the thing that we despise. And in that case, you ended up being exactly what you saw your father do.
That's true.
But I'm pretty sure you didn't start off saying, oh, I'm going to do just like my daddy did.
Nope. You want to read what Chrissy said?
Chrissy says, our parents' generation messed up big time. Now our children want to break the generational curse. I spoke over my son while he was in my womb. You declared that he would be better than me, and my they can read that for themselves.
No, you supposed to read it. And my raggedy parents example.
You know what? They did mess up, but sometimes we have to learn to understand that they only knew, and in some cases they only knew what they were taught, right? And so if they saw raggediness before them, they produced raggediness before us. But she's saying right. You have to realize that it was messed up, and you have to have those conversations.
Well, Ricardo says babies raising babies, lost. God teaching. Yes, that is true. Baby is raising baby.
So that's my father. Hey, Daddy.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, Father. Hey, Papa.
But he was a baby raising babies. He was a baby raising babies, and he did it. To me, he did a wonderful job because, ta-da! But to me, he did a wonderful job. But there were things that he did that I definitely would not want for my children. Right?
Okay.
Things that he did that I saw both him and my mom do that I would not want for my children to do. Because what we have to realize is that each generation should be progressive.
Yeah, and
generation should do better than the last generation.
I'm gonna be the person out here to be. I'm just gonna throw it out here. Look, I know my kids don't want to grow up being like me. You know, some things, you know, but I'm telling you, I pray. I was like, God, please don't let my daughters find a man like me. Lord, please don't. I pray to God because I don't want that karma to come back over my daughters when I did women wrong. You know, at my age, you know, I was bad. I was a whore back then. So, you know, for me, it's just like I don't want my kids to really take that that generation curse. Chris said, "Real talk, no blame, but it was a generation curse." Yes, it was. So, hey, this was good. This is good. I just want to move forward because this could get deep. Um, what? And I do want to ask this question: why is that career-driven women? Why we have so many single career-driven women out here? They got everything, but they single. I mean, do you think it's this thing that they better than men? You know, I don't know.
I'm about to come out swinging for my sisters.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think it's about career driven. I think career driven women usually are single because number one is their voice. I think that they have they choice. I think that, you know, it depends on what they want out of a marriage or a relationship. Some may say you have career-driven women who say, if I'm bringing home 200K, he need to bring home 400K.
What?
Or 250K or 220K. He has to be up on my level financially or greater.
What is that?
I don't know what the reason is. But I would say that if that's their mentality, then they're missing out on great men.
So what is that movie about Idris? He was on it. What is it called? Gabriel. What is it called?
Daddy's Little Girls.
Daddy's Little Girl. And I think Gabrielle
Union played a successful partner at her law firm, and he was her driver, but he really was a mechanic. And so this is a prime example of it depends on what a successful woman wants. So everybody thought that she needed to find a lawyer husband.
Not everybody. Her girlfriends.
Her girlfriends.
Her girlfriends.
her girlfriends, her inner circle, said that she needed to find a man that was on the same level career wise and had all these ideas that should for her relationship. And it's a part in the movie where she says, I think the quote was, I just want to feel somebody. I just want somebody that makes me secure.
Yeah.
Feel secure, right?
Yep.
And for her, if that's what she wants in a marriage, for somebody to make her feel secure, then that's what she wants in a man. Don't mean he has to be just as only I don't define money as being successful, but doesn't mean he has to make as much as her. Doesn't mean he has to be career driven. And she fell for a man who could give her what she wanted, but he was a car mechanic.
So, girl, who's Avis?
Avis is my stepmother.
Okay, real talk. Okay, we got. Oh Lord, I'm gonna be careful what I'm saying on this. Chris said, "Wow, I say all the time, just what you say. Why do men treat women in a way that they would hate for someone to treat their daughter, mom?" Hey, you're right. You so right. Christopher said, "I'm shutting up on this subject on this one."
I got you. Chris also says because they look for love in all the wrong places instead of looking for love and comfort, compassion, and someone who's going to help her. They say, "Oh, he's not my type. My man gotta have a car, a good job, someone who can do this and do that." And that's what I'm saying. It depends if that's what a woman wants, then that's what she wants. We can't battle what a woman wants. If she wants a man who drives a fancy car, who makes just as much money as she does, who has all those things, we can't knock her for what she wants. That's what she wants. That's what she desires. We have to respect that. Now, could she be possibly losing out on someone who's great for her? Absolutely. We all could. But for those women who there are some women who says, I just want a man, like in the movie, I just want a man for security. He don't have to make as much money as he makes, or that may not be the end result for her. She find a man that's not making a six figures, that's not driving the Benz or a Bentley. She may meet a man that she just falls in love with, and they make it work for them. Listen. So it's all the reasons. It's what a person wants. It's what they desire. It's what they're looking for. But at the end of the day, do we knock a successful woman who's single? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Are they single? They're single for a reason.
Yep.
Whatever reason that is. And not to say they couldn't be missing out, but it's what they require. It's just like a man who say, I want a woman, right? So how come all these men who say they want a wife, right, and they go, but instead they're not preparing themselves for one?
So your father says that men have to step up to their level, not to bring them down. Which that's a great point. But I'm about to say, but some women, don't give a man the opportunity to have them to be able to show them that they can step up to that level. They will already look at a man just because he don't have a car or where he work at, and just think right there, like judge them like, oh nah, he's not my type. Or
that's the same thing y'all doing for women who probably have 5 or 6 kids.
Well, that's true too. Definitely ain't my type. Yeah, you're right. So
we can talk about that all day.
So Chris says females don't have a type. I hate hearing that. Chrissy said, you need to call in show. I'm in here screaming.
They are single because men are intimidated by them, period. It has nothing to do with having more than a man. Every woman I know desires a good man, but we don't want to put up with no nonsense to have one. Slavery and the socio-economic downfall of people of color did a number on us as a people. And
woo! Okay, Chrissy.
And the women were probably not gonna really like me when I say, but he said I could be on this live. You want to read that?
Oh, she said. Chris said, "We want a man. I want a man. I'll help a man, but not if he resents me because I do better. Not an insecure man. I date and marry the garbage man. No, but he must be a good man. not resent me, but I don't need him. I choose to have him. Wow.
And that's different.
Wow.
You have to have somebody.
And she talking about some sorry, sir, he needs a car. Now come on now. Hold on. Now you was doing good, Chrissy.
Chrissy was no, but if that's her requirement, that's her requirement.
Okay, well,
if he has a car, he has to have a car.
Listen, what if she don't have a car?
So it depends on that man's requirement. If a man say, I want a woman who don't have a car, then he needs to look for a woman that don't have a car. A car shouldn't be materialistic things shouldn't be required for a woman not to be with a man, not to deal with him. So
why you have a car? The reason why you have a car, why you can't pick me up? You know I ain't got no car. What's wrong with that? See, there you go. Look at that face.
There's nothing wrong. There's Cornell, Cass. What I'm
Do y'all see the emotions coming out this woman right here?
So what we cannot battle is a person's requirements, right? We can't be the judge or jury on nobody's life and what they expect. If I want to, it's just the same thing who say, I got a little meat on my bone. Who am I to say, knock a man because he want a skinny woman? That's what he requires. That's what he's attracted to. If he says, I don't want to marry a man who don't have his own home. What if he lives with his mom?
Chrissy, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna show you something. I'm glad Chrissy threw that out there. So, Chris, I hope you listening to this, because which you are. So, if you seen a man in a restaurant or out somewhere, and he looked good and fine, you like, whew, that joker fine, and he's eyeing you out, looking at you, and he happened to just get up and come over and say, hey, how you doing, whatever, and being a gentleman, and you like, oh, hi, flirting back with him. Days go by, weeks go by, not knowing that he don't have a car. He didn't ask you for no ride. You never seen the guy go anywhere, but he always got to that destination. 3-4 months down the line, you're really digging this guy. You digging this guy. Y'all, you thinking about, really jumping into a relationship with the guy. And finds out the nigga don't have a car. You trying to tell me you're going to walk away from a good man that you met because he didn't have a car? Expectations. We're talking about expectations.
Okay, while we're waiting for Chrissy to respond to that, does he not have a car? Does he not have a car because he just told it and he's waiting the new one? Or does he not have a car because he has a DUI, he can't, and his license is revoked and took his driving permit?
Okay.
Why he doesn't have a car?
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna answer your question. See, this is where y'all women has to understand and learn. Just because a man don't have a car, don't necessarily he's not a good man. One, how you know the man don't live downtown where he just don't need a car and he just go to work?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on the reason why he does not have a car. Why don't have a car? If you work downtown and you don't need a car, so everything is walking distance, then I understand. That's a good economic move. You're not buying a car. Why pay a car note if you everything and you don't need to?
But you wouldn't know that because you would judge him off the bat from the door. You ain't gonna ask him, well, why you don't have no car?
It ain't like she's saying he ain't got a car. She said, can he get wait a minute.
Let's read the comment.
She said, I have a hoodie. I'm not materialistic. Come down. I guess something your old brother needs a car. Now he don't have to have a house. An apartment is fine, but for real, a car, he probably ain't got no car because he too fine. LOL. She said it's too expensive to be poor. Exactly. The question is, why doesn't he have a car? Can he get a car?
But listen, but did you see what she said? She said, I have a hoopy. No, right? She's not materialistic. But listen to what this says. She said, now he don't have to have a house. An apartment is fine. What? He don't have to have a house or apartment, but the nigga have to have a car?
But he has to. So listen, first thing in life that a man wants, that I know my sons always talk about, is what? Getting a car. That's most people, get in a car so they can have a freedom of transportation. But it all boils back down to, what is the reason this man, this grown man, does not have a car? If it's because he lives in the city, that's fine. If it's because he just crashed it, that's okay. Discuss those things. But if he's have a car because he can't get one,
Christopher said he stay at his baby mama house. That's still okay. They gonna live in the car. Chrissy said, true. It depends on the reason he doesn't have a car. I wouldn't judge. We will, however, discuss the why.
can he love you? Measure that on a car. Chris, I don't understand. Can he love you? Measure that on a car, a money.
Where?
Right,
Oh, say can he love you?
Take care of you.
Can your love measure?
It does matter why. It does matter why. So it's just like saying, okay, for instance, it's all the time. I meet a guy, right? Question is, how many kids you have? I say 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get the right. What's the follow-up question to that? Well, how many baby fathers you got?
That's what they ask you?
That's what they ask. Why?
Oh, wow.
Right? I only have 1. Oh, okay. So it's just the same thing. But if I had to say, that's doable. I hear that all the time. Oh, that's doable. But if I say, how many kids you got? 6. What you gonna do? You fighting or you flighting?
You gonna say, oh, that's not doable. Thank you, though. Have a nice day.
Same thing with a car.
That's too. That is not.
She can't give me what I desire. She can't give me what I need because she got all these kids.
Okay. All right.
And if you don't have a car, that says a lot.
I'm gonna have this show again next week. We're gonna come back to this, and we're gonna bring Chrissy on here, and I'm gonna bring Christopher on here, and we're gonna talk this out. Christopher said, I have 4 kids, 10 baby mamas, a car, live in my baby mama's basement. That should be okay.
That should be okay. Chris, that's all right. You all right with me, Chris?
So I want to go to this confession letter, y'all. I want to get their letters out because I know they need y'all advice on this confession letter. Chris says, actually, I own a 2019 Chevy Enox, a house and own business. Hey, bro, that's great.
Much respect there.
He talking about me and Chris going to fight. All right, so I want to read this this confession letter. Said, hello, I am 42 years old and have 3 kids. I've been married for 7 years, and lately my wife keeps saying she's been going out with her girlfriend for the past 3 months to a bar called Thursday, Fridays, whatever. I really feel like she's lying. We haven't had sex in 2 months. Oh, bro. Oh, my gosh. She's cheating on you then. She always says she's tired when I try to make love to her. Yep. Bro, I got some answers for that. The signs. He said, so I just leave it alone. I recently hired a PI to see, oh my God, whether my wife is cheating. Well, come to find out she is. I haven't told her yet, but I have all the evidence, pictures, videos, and where the dude live. I am so heartbroken right now. I love my kids and I don't want them to be separated from their parents. I promise myself to do whatever it takes for my kids to be raised by both parents. It's been a week since I found out she is cheating on me. What did I do to deserve this? I've been a great husband and a father. I never cheated on her. I just brought her a brand new Lexus 20. Oh, talking about the car. See, the dang woman didn't have no car. He just bought. See, this is what I'm talking about. Hold on, I just bought her a brand new Lexus 2020 last month for her birthday, and this is what I get in return. I'm afraid to tell her that I hired a PI because I know she was going to take my kids. What do you think I should do? All right, viewers out there, that's somebody letter. They need your advice.
All right. You
Go ahead. I want you to from a.
Chris says. Tracy says that's your gut cheating. That was before she got the letter. Chris says, does she have a car?
Well, Chris, we already found that out.
Right. That's why he with her. She got a car. And she said, Chrissy says that's a no-brainer, nasty, filthy, cheating is gross.
Just think about it. It is gross. Okay. Yeah.
So
She's gonna be walking wireless messing with me. Christian said he could go to the doctor. Listen, yo, y'all supposed to be nice over here. Y'all, you can't be. They need your advice, not your.
Chris and Christy, that's a rough crowd right there. That's a rough crew. That's a rough crowd right there. Real talk, you should check.
They need advice. They need your advice, Christy. Come on.
Advice. That is her advice. Go get checked, and then we'll discuss the rest.
Oh God. Okay.
No. But so here it is. I'm going to say this. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk off of the letter. Right?
Okay.
After 7 years of marriage, because we got to think 7 years of marriage, I'm not sure that a woman will wake up and just say, I'm going to go cheat on my husband after 7 years of marriage.
Okay.
Okay? That's number one. Am I making excuses for her to cheat? No. To me, if you're cheating, you got to go. Right? That's just me. If you cheat, I don't care what the excuse is, you got to go.
He have evidence.
Right, and he has evidence.
Yep.
Number two, I would ask him because the question was, what should he do because he wants his kids to live in a house? Because
no, he thinks that she's going to take his kids away from it if he expose her.
I don't see why. Why would you feel why? That I don't think that's a true statement. I don't think that she can take because he exposed her. What he exposing is the lies and the deceitfulness.
Because he said, I'm afraid to tell her that I hired a PI because I know she's going to take my kids. So my advice is that one, bro, you got to have that heart-to-heart conversation with her. You got to let her know that you know. Two, when you go to court, you got evidence. So they're going to be in your favor anyway. Three, you have kids. Yes, I'm with you. What's going to happen is going to definitely break up your family because you're gonna be dealing with.
So you're saying he should leave?
What I'm saying is that he should have a heart-to-heart conversation and see what's going to happen with that situation. Because I can see him staying with her because of the kids. That's what I could see. So,
well, I mean, go ahead.
So if he decides to stay with her, he got to have that heart to heart. She, if she's willing to stay with him or keep doing what she's doing.
So that needs to be the decision to be made because what does it look like on her part? Not that I said that cheating is the answer. There's no excuse for cheating. I agree with that. But I would say he said in there that he's been a good husband. He just bought her the new Lexus. But my thing with that is to be a wife. Like I said, being a wife married for 7 years, you don't just wake up and say, I'm going to cheat on my husband. And he says that he was a good husband. But I would ask him, according to who? According to him? Or what is her side of the story?
That's why they need to have that heart-to-heart talk.
That's why they need to that hard conversation.
And Chris said, seriously, he needs to remain cool and strategize, which, that's true. You need to think about how, which way you want to go. And there's going to be some consequences.
In situations like this, whatever is in his heart, in any situation, whatever it is in your heart is going to play out. To me, from this letter, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to stay in with his marriage and try to work through this infidelity if she's willing to.
Mm-hmm. But because sometimes you could get caught and you could be like, man, you know what? I can't lose my family, and stop doing what you're doing.
Right. Exactly. The reality sets in of what you're doing.
And right? And this is a woman. Usually women, like you said, it takes a lot for a woman to really cheat on their husband. Mentally, you have to really be gone for you to really. And then he said in the thing that they haven't had sex for 2 months. So right there's a sign. She always says she's tired. Okay, but you still could go out with your girlfriends. You say you out with your girlfriend. Let's read some comments. Chris says marriage is like a game till death do us part. Yeah. I'm telling you, stop paying the car note. Don't tell her about the PI. Tell her you did your research. He said, I think the guy she cheated with has a nice car. Christian said he don't have to tell her that he hired a PI. He just needs to slap the pics down like the Joker Deuce or Spade. You're right about that. Once you got evidence, boy, ain't nothing you can say to me.
A lot of times when we get the evidence, it does not determine our decision. That's just confirming what we thought, what we knew in the first place.
Your father said let her go.
I know my daddy would say that.
But he's scared. But he's scared to let her go because of the kids. Like, it's a family thing. Like, I feel what he's saying because, it's going to tear up the whole family. And that's not what he wants.
Okay. Chrissy said, he holds all the cards. I agree. She's been cheating. I ain't going to say that. Scroll past that. I can't see that name. Chris says he probably left his dirty balls on the bathroom floor. Chrissy then says when women cheat, it's a wrap.
Yeah, exactly. The mental, Chrissy, when a woman cheats.
So when a woman cheats, you can say that because it takes a lot for a woman to cheat. I ain't gonna say it takes a lot.
Well, your father said it's over. She's in love with another man. I agree.
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that.
I don't know.
I would not say that. Sometimes she's just not looking. She could possibly not be looking at the whole gamut, but it'll all come out when he says what I think he should do is let her know. Let her know this is what I found out that you're cheating. And I would even throw the name out there so and I wouldn't tell him I hired a PI, but I would give her information to let her know that I know about it out that you're cheating and see where it goes from there. And then what her response is, because this is a marriage, this is a 7-year marriage with kids, and if there's anything there to salvage the marriage, I think that if both of them are willing to put up to do the hard work, again, fight, they can possibly get through this. I know couples that have done it.
It takes two.
It's not going to be an overnight situation because it didn't take an overnight situation for them to get to this point.
It takes two.
It takes two. So if he goes to her and he says, listen, this is what I know. This is what I know. And she says, okay, I still want to be married. He say, I still want a wife. And they got to put hard work in. They got to do what they got to do to make their marriage work for them. At this point, it ain't even about the kids because the kids are resilient. They're going to be okay.
Okay.
So it all depends. But what the kid can live with is a broken father and a broken mother. Like that's.
I agree.
So that's my thing. Have the conversation. conversation. Have the hard conversation.
So don't you have an email someone sent to you?
I do. I do have an email that I have. I'm going to read the email. It says, I am 38 years old. I need your viewers' advice on how to handle this situation. Recently, I got a text message from my 15-year-old daughter. And this is the message she wrote. This is what it says to her father. She says, my problem with you is that you always treated me differently. I always felt like I wasn't important when it came down to you and your other kids. You would go all out for the birthdays, but when it came down to me, it was always a problem. I'm just tired of you thinking you're a good dad to me and you're not, in all due respect. I have one dad, and that's my grandfather. He always did more than you ever did. And I'm not telling you this to bash you, but I'm telling you this so you know why I don't want any dealings with you. You don't know anything about me. Let's be completely honest. We have no type of relationship, but I'm done trying. You're very inconsistent when it comes down to me. You didn't even know I was depressed last year. I'm tired of you not being there, which is causing me stress. So I don't want anything to do with you anymore. That was his father. So he continues, right? He says, so I pay child support every month, and I take my daughter on vacation with me. I attend multiple birthday parties. I tried to have a positive father-daughter relationship, but her mother always made me out to be a deadbeat dad because I won't give her money to take care of her 4 other kids. They are not my responsibility. I tried calling my daughter, but she never answers my calls or texts. She is filling my daughter's head up to dislike me. I feel like cutting her off and just sending her child support. What should I do? My Lord. Wow.
That's a. It sounds like the influence coming from the mother. It sounds like the influence is coming from the mother.
Listen.
So coming from, and I'm gonna listen to you from a woman's point of view because this is gonna be interesting real quick because like look what Chrissy said. I hate when niggas talk about child support. I already see how this about to go, where it's about to go. See, she ain't listen to none else what you said. All she think about the nigga with the child support. That's all that came up to her. So I already know how this is going down right now.
All right, Chris is gone. So you somebody else about to jump in here for else. We about to.
I'm gonna hold it down for the men. I'm about to hold it down.
All right. Okay. So you gonna go first? I'll let you go.
Go ahead. What do you think? Chris, she's just tight.
Okay, Chris, hold on. If a person, I've lived through a similar situation with me and my kid's father. And what I want to say is, men always saying that I pay child support. Okay. Right? That's just a part. You have a child's financial, you have a child's emotional, you have a child's physical, you have a child's spiritual, a child's education, all those things that's a gamut, and many more that's a part of being a father. Paying child support does not take away those other things. That's just handle what it takes for the mother to care for her financially. And I'm saying this from a mother who never took her kid's father up for child support. I never took my kid's dad up for child support. So I'm saying all that to say that's just not it. Listen to what her heart says. She said, he's never done anything for me. You don't know. She don't know. She feel like she don't know who he doesn't know her. He said he takes her, pays child support. He takes her on vacation. He takes her to at all her birthday parties. All those things he's done. But what have you done to develop a one-on-one relationship with your daughter? What are you pouring into her life on a daily basis? Just because you paying child support, and the mother can say what she wants, but if you were really being a dad, I wouldn't care what the mother would have to say. That girl will love daddy. And for her to be at an age of 15, this is what she's saying. There's some truth she has to acknowledge how she's feeling. You just can't say, I'm going to just send a child support. Get it? Why? Because now you have to address some issues with your daughter and you have to put in some work.
Mm-hmm.
No, you stand and fight for your child.
So, okay, let's read some comments right here.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, read Chrissy's comments right there.
Chrissy says, a woman can try to influence a child all she wants is wrong. But a child knows when they are loved by their dad, no matter what the mother says. I've been through that. Love is a verb. A daughter can feel when she is loved by her dad. She can also feel when he is going through the motions. And then I think that was to me. She said, it's not about material things, it's about the relationship.
We said the same thing, Petey. Okay, so
That's my family name.
This is my opinion on it. I totally agree with the daughter's emotions. She feels some type of way, but if in this story, listen to what the father says. He said he paid child support every month. We're gonna break it down. One, he paid child support every month. So he already a responsible man, a responsible father, right?
Is he really? Is he?
No, we're talking about that one thing right now.
But I don't agree.
Wait.
Okay.
Is a man responsible when he's paying child support? That's not his responsibility.
It's a responsibility, but he doesn't make him a responsible father.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about, is he responsible for paying child support?
Oh, he's responsible for paying child support. Yes, he meets that response. He meets that. I don't even want to call it responsibility.
Yeah, you know what to call. You just don't want to say it. He meets that responsibility. Am I right?
Okay. All right.
Okay, 2.
Uh-huh.
He says, and I take my daughter on vacations with me. 2. He's trying as a father to take her on vacations. That's 2.
Okay.
I'm standing up for the man right there, because y'all ain't gonna bash a man that I see on here that he's doing his job too. Wait, 2. 3. He said he attend multiples birthday parties. Now, if you go back up to her letter, what she was writing, she said that he never done anything for her.
No. And that's what's probably how she feels. Cornell, a child has one birthday a year.
I agree. I'm there with you. But I don't want you to just look on one side now, because you got to think about a 15-year-old is feeling some type of way.
Exactly.
And so he's addressing looks like he's addressing the things that what she's saying. He said, I tried to have a positive father-daughter relationship. When a man tries, you got to understand, when it comes to women, I've been through a woman always tried to use kids against their father. They always trying to use a child. They know the father loved the child. They try to keep the man away from the child. They go for child support. They don't want the man to see the child. They do everything to try to hurt the man because of their hurt. The child had never had nothing to do with their relationship. It's because of the man and the woman has beef with each other. But if the man is trying to do his job as a father and the woman is doing crazy stuff, he only can do but so much. And yes, I'm not taking away her feelings.
Right. Let me address this part. And so we have to let's dig deeper to say, okay, I'm only going off what he stated in the letter. There are 365 days in a year. You have to extra on leap year, which is 160 days.
Uh-huh.
The child has one birthday, right? Because he didn't say nothing. One birthday. He takes her on vacation. Let's say it's an intensive vacation. Let's say it's a 1 week or 2 week vacation, 14 days. Mm-hmm. That's 15 days out of the 2 years. So let's do them at 15 days out of 365. There's still 350 days of the year. What is he doing to build a positive relationship with her?
Listen to, he said, but her mother always make me out to be a deadbeat dad because, now this is important. I won't pay.
Before we go to that, let's address that. Again, and my dad can vouch. Daddy, if you on here.
He said, I got in child support.
I have gotten child support. So my thing is, I don't care what my mother said. I don't care what my mother did. I don't care if she could have said horrible things about my dad. I always had a relationship with my father, regardless of what my mother said or did, and she didn't. But if a man is doing his role, there is nothing that a mother can say to a child, especially a daughter, about their father.
That's not true. I disagree. I disagree.
And there's nothing I can say about her father that will tell her, no, I love my daddy. No, I love my daddy.
I disagree. It depends on the influence that you have over a child. You can manipulate the whole situation with a child and make them think otherwise. I disagree.
When they're younger, yes, but this is written by a 15-year-old.
I mean, if she was 17, you got to think about it. How long that it's been putting in this child's head? Up to 15 years old. Read Chrissy. Okay. Chrissy says,
they ought to stop spilling their seed up in a woman that already has multiple kids if he doesn't want to help those other kids. Men treat women with children like da-da-da-da. It's wrong. She's wrong. Probably has low self-esteem, and he as a man is wrong for spilling up. When he don't want to be with, thinking that child support is good enough. SMH.
She said, "Oh please."
No, she said, "Oh please." No woman really though is that a child will keep a man. That is the oldest narrative ever. A woman that had a child by a man simply want that child to have a good relationship. Niggas think a woman wants them. SMH. And then she says, I agree. Nobody can turn a daughter against her dad. A daughter will fight her mom for talking about her dad. I live, and I agree.
Hey, Chrissy, I'm gonna come at you on this. You're listen. All of this is. I disagree with this. She says that is the oldest. No, it's the truth. You can't make that the oldest narrative. No, it's really the truth. Because you do have women out here that's trying to bash a man over emotions.
I agree with that. I give you that. That is 100% correct. You do have women that are foolish enough to use a child because a man to control a man. And that's all it's about, is to control a man. There are women, I heard it, I know some, and they are dead wrong. And every time I get an opportunity there, I tell them that they are dead wrong for that. I agree.
Your father said it happens to him with your sisters.
It happened to me with your sisters. That's another story.
No, hey, Chrissy, let's say real talk about that.
Okay, so that's real talk. So that's what my dad said about my sisters. However, if it was not about the issues between him and my mom, and he would have stayed focused on the relationship with my sisters, the outcome would have been different. And not to mention, my mom and dad separated. We were already teenagers. So the narrative is different. But again, if you stop focusing on the mother and focus on you and your relationship with your daughter, regardless of what the mother do, stay consistent. She said you're very inconsistent.
It depends on inconsistent with what though?
Stay consistent.
In what?
And she didn't state, but it's in something.
It got to be something.
And that's one thing. So if she's having a hard time, if you're paying child support and the mother's giving you a hard time, why can't you take the initiative to say, okay, I'm paying child support, but let me make sure. So let me give visitation. Let me make sure I get my child every other week or every weekend.
Yeah, but look at what she said about his kids. It says that she said, my problem with you is that you always treated me differently. I always felt like I wasn't important when it came down to you and your other kids. Absolutely. So, okay, I mean, he has other kids.
So he does and she does.
And sometimes it's hard for a man to, juggle different kids if they're not with the same mother. You know what I'm saying? They probably he's probably tried to really work things out with his daughter, but the mother is an asshole. Excuse my language.
And so is he.
And he may probably be.
If she has other kids and he has other kids, then she already at the short end of the stick. But here's the thing. This is what I wanted to say.
Okay, wait. I have an example. I was in a situation like that. Mm-hmm. Me and my ex-wife broke up, right? We was married. We got divorced, right? Mm-hmm. A year later, 6 months later, whatever, she dating this guy, whatever. She calls my phone and said, hey, I need this amount of money for rent. I got to pay your rent while you dating a nigga that living and banging you up in your house? What? That's not fair.
So what's the alternative? Get your daughter and tell her to come live with you?
Yes. If you can't take care of the child, why they can't stay with me? Because I don't think men. I don't see a lot of men out there asking women for child support because men just gonna take care of their responsibility if they have to take care of their kids. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So here's the thing. And I'm gonna share this. And if my kid's father ever see this, kudos to him. But I decided not to take my kid's father for child support. Number one, because I know how his mentality is. Uh-huh. And so I knew that if I took him up for child support, that would affect negatively the relationship with my daughter. Right? And to me, her relationship with her father is more important than a couple $100 a month.
That's good. I like that. That's good.
So we have to realize that if we have a man that will take care of their child and we want to quote unquote control, then we find you just have to know your spouse. You have to understand what would trigger them not to want to develop a relationship with their child. So that's what I did. I didn't take him up for child support, but I knew that if I ever called him and said, "This is what I need, this is what I'll do," then I knew that he would come for our daughters.
So, Christy says, it has never worked, and there's no woman on this day and age really thinks that a child would keep a man. They'll never seen it work. Then she says, right, parents/child relationship should be the focus. Leave each other alone. Me and my ex-husband had no problems. My son knew he was important to his dad. this conversation has come full circle. That's why millennials want to marry young to avoid all this mess. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. All
Yeah.
these sloppy seconds and get all over the place. They want to
They
do,
want to do family the
yeah, the
right way.
family the right way, not broken. Me too,
And
cuz.
that's true. And it has come full circle. It's true. So again, we have to make sure that when it comes to these children, that we keep them as the main focus. And it's not about how you even feel about my kid's father. It's not about how you feel about your kid's mother. It's how we give this child everything that they so deserve because they never even asked to be here. So for a child to write that letter to a father, I don't care if it was under her mother's influence or not. That's her feeling.
Yep.
So what is he going to do about her feelings? Is he going to just get child support and let her be? Or is he going to intervene
that was his question.
And have a conversation with his child?
That's what he said. He said he feel like cutting her off and just sending her child support. What should I do? Personally,
you speak to your child
you
have a conversation.
It's really it's but he said he tried texting her, calling her.
Keep trying.
She never, pick up the phone and answer his calls.
Keep trying.
And so, I think that as a father, you should listen to how she feels and really kind of, again, like you said, try to call her, try to have that conversation with her to let her know how you really feel too about, about everything. And the mother, that's another whole story.
That's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different story.
Responsibility.
That's just something a man have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? He have to go through. Personally, you should.
Where does she fit with the other kids? Is she the oldest?
Huh?
Is she in the middle? I said, where's her position with the other kids?
I didn't say.
So many scenarios with this, but
so many scenarios.
This is your daughter.
Yeah.
We don't leave a 15-year-old to fend for herself. That's not what we do.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And he could, and somebody else will be there to pick up the pieces.
Well, he'd probably be glad.
No. No, and I'm not saying like that. It'd be a young man. It could be a young, old sugar daddy. It could be anything to fill the pieces that she's void, and then where would she find herself?
Yeah.
Like, think of all there's predators out there. She's the love of a father. She needs to go love his daughter. And stop coming up with excuses. I don't care what the mother's saying. Love your child.
Look at Chris. Chris said he really doesn't care about her feeling. He said he wants to cut her off. That's in his heart. He's ragging. He's more interested in tail chasing and his other kid than his daughter.
And with that note, here it is again. Because I got a scenario with that too. I know a story of, and I'm going to say this, people don't like it, but a lot of times it does make a difference in how a child relates to their how a father, or I'm going to say father because usually it's the father, how a father relates to their child depending on the type of relationship they had with the mother. Right? I know so many men who have kids, who have a set of kids with a wife, go out here and have other kids with somebody else that was a jump off or a one night stand or a side pick or whatever. And the relationship is different, all because the relationship was the relationship that they all had with their mother. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's you have to consider all those things when you think of that. These kids that the child by the other woman didn't ask to be here, but you have to purposefully and to build a relationship even stronger with that child than you have over here, because my daughter never saw me and her together. Never. Because the time she was we were separated.
Gotcha.
She never saw, but it makes a difference because she does understand that she was a product that once me and her father did love each other, right? Some children don't have that story.
They really don't. That's true.
Relationship. A lot of kids don't have a story. So you have to be, and so in situations like that, a father has to be more intentional. And how I know is because a father who has kids over here, but he has 5 children. And he'll have all 5 of his kids, and I've heard him say it more than once. He'll have all his kids together, and somebody will come up to him and say, "How many kids do you have?" You know how many he'll say?
He'll leave somebody out.
Yep, he'll leave that one on the side that he had with that woman out. Like, that's really mentally crushed.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But because all of it is in his heart. You love your kids from your heart, but sometimes you get in this messiness where kids is not in your heart, it's just a responsibility that you have.
So your father says, so how often should the father talk to their kids to let them know you love them?
If it takes every day. If it takes 2 times a day, twice a day. I can't tell you how many times I tell my daughter I love her throughout the day.
But even if you tell your kids that you love them every day, it's always going to be a problem and issue somewhere down the line.
Yeah, that's growing pains stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's growing pains. Because we're the adults. We're the responsible ones. We have to stay consistent with our children.
And this is good, as Chrissy said. She says those who don't have good relationship with their dads usually have broken relationships. That is true. Also, if a man doesn't like or respect their child's mother, they treat that child wrong. Yeah, that is true.
The relationship they have with the mother.
That's true.
That's a whole other topic that we go on. And being in the school system, you see it every day.
Well, listen, I am glad, everybody commented, and this was good. I didn't think this was a big issue when it came to marriages, relationships, and all this stuff. But this is more to talk about in the future. I got to get Chrissy on here. I can't wait to hear her about how she can speak on all of this.
That's my cousin.
So look, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Father, Dad, Mom on here. I appreciate y'all coming, and I'm glad that everybody was being transparent through this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about this is what Chrissy put up there is real talk. It's just real talk. And she was like, "No, you're gonna make me cuss." I allow 1 or 2 cuss words on here because I said it. I got emotional real quick. So
that's the thing. Sometimes we have to take our emotions out of it.
That's true. True.
You have to take your emotions out of it. It has to be,
So I'm going to end this show with, we have to be very careful when it comes to marriage, who we get involved with, especially in this time of day, man. You don't know who you jumping in the bed with. And communication is the key. I got some great stuff I want to bring up next week. I don't know, Rakisha, I may have to pull your brain again.
Just let me know.
I have to pull your brain.
Out for real conversation.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Be intentional with that. With everything you do, be intentional with it.
Yes. Yes. Tatiana said, "Oh, yes. Okay. Somebody just popped in." So thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll holler at y'all next week. Next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Please share and like this, and put that notification on there because I'll be here every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. All right. Thank you, Keisha. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See y'all next time.
See you.
All right.